Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've done any shop videos, but hey, check this out. I just unboxed this. This is a shipment of Moku-Ti, big, giant Moku-Ti billets from Chad Nichols, Damascus. I'm going to have so much fun with these things. Look at these things. These are enormous. I ordered 3.5 by 7.5 by 1/4 inch, which is slightly oversized from what I really need, which is what these guys are here. This is a 3 by 7 by 0.25. I'm running on Dayquil here. You can probably tell my voice is a little bit rough. I've been sick. But man, look at that. I'm going to have a bunch left over where I could put some little miscellaneous parts and stuff in here. That's exciting. I wasn't expecting to have this big of a billet, but Chad really did me a solid and added a whole bunch of extra girth to this billet here. So I'm really happy about that. He worked me in really quickly. I think it took him about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half to get these done. 5 billets of Moku-Ti. Just put this back here. And these are going to be transformed into some really cool Mk10s and Mk8s. I'm going to do some build videos and show you guys how I'm going to make them. This stuff is truly epic material. This is Boomerang Moku-Ti. And it is going to look really cool. You can kind of see the pattern in there too, by the way. When this gets polished up really nicely, that'll actually pop really good. You can see here it's pattern welded, forged Moku-Ti. Chad Nichols is one of the preeminent Damascus and sort of amalgamated metals makers in the world. He makes Moku-Ti. He also makes Moku-Ti. I don't know if he does any other, I think he does Zircuti, which is got zirconium in it, but I'm not a huge fan of that stuff. I don't like the way it looks. It looks a little dirty to me. But this stuff looks amazing. So I've done some work with Moku-Ti in the past before, not a whole lot. I did 2 Mk7s way back in the day. Since then, you know, quality levels on my knives have really increased exponentially. You know, I always kind of look back on the stuff I made while I was still in college, and I go, you know, is there any way I can really improve that? And I made so many strides and improvements on the Mk10s, the Mk8s, between the Mk7s, the Mk6s, that they're almost like not even the same. You can't even like compare them. So at this point, I'm super happy with the quality of the Mk10s and the Mk8s, and so I'm like ready to go ahead and start working in Moku-Ti and some of the more exotic materials. So. They're all squared away, super awesome knives and whatnot. They work really great. So at this point, I'm going to start doing some really cool stuff with this stuff. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole bunch of knives and Moku-Ti or whatever, but you know, if people are looking for Moku-Ti frames and whatnot, that's going to be a thing. You know, you can custom order those at this point. These are going to be really nice. So just keep an eye out for that. I'll do some build videos and show you guys how these get made. And of course, subscribe to my channel for a little bit of inside look on how these get made. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, and thanks for supporting my business. Oh, and I forgot to mention, a lot of people say, why are Moku-Ti knives so expensive? Well, this material is very time-consuming and labor-intensive to make. There are 5 billets here, and this is what my total was. So yeah, almost $3,700. These are really expensive billets of material because there's a lot of time and labor that goes into them. And Chad's really the only guy in the world making this stuff. I think there's Damascus, and that might be a different maker, but this stuff is really tough to get. You know, it's kind of a wonder Chad was able to work me in so quickly, so I obviously thank him for that. And you know, I'm thankful to have them. But this is pretty exclusive material, and it's really hyper expensive. That's why if you see a Moku-Ti knife and you're like, why is that $2,000? That's why, because this stuff is really labor intensive to make. This is not cheap material, guys, and that's why it translates into a pretty expensive knife. But it is really freaking cool. So with that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting me and my endeavor here. Again, if you're interested in my knives, have a look. www.willmooncustomknives.com. See you later.